Ha ha ha. No, but
And we're
welcome
back, and we back, and we back.
like we always are, back like we never left. This is
Ooh,
the second edition of the Top Rope Boys podcast. You know me,
yes,
it's your
sir.
man with the plan, the host of the most, Rique the Freak. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here with the EST himself, Mr.
It's
C.
the EST at the DMV, the rated S superstar. Stop playing with me. The one and only. It's your boy Steph. How we feeling?
Oh, we forgot. I had actually a pretty solid Sunday, other than having to go to work. Very eventful week of wrestling, actually. But
Oh,
we'll get
eventful.
we'll get into all that. You know what I'm saying? But how you feeling, bro?
I'm chilling. I'm living. Doing what we can do in this wonderful world. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Man, that's all we can do is try. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired as hell right now. But hey,
No, for real.
we're here to talk about some wrestling. So you know what I'm saying? Let's have a good time, get through it like we
Let's get
always
into the
do.
wrestling.
But before we do that, today is 316 day.
Hmm.
Of course, honoring the great Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the most popular superstars, probably the most popular superstar we've ever seen. Uh,
Yeah.
that that bald, raging redneck, love that man.
The
Um, you know,
Texas Rattlesnake.
the Texas Rattlesnake. Like obviously, he has so many great matches and moments. He accomplished so much, and it's so crazy because like when you think about his main roster run, his main roster run was probably only like really 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's just like he accomplished so much in that time. And it's crazy because like he debuted as the fucking ringmaster. That was his name, the ringmaster. So it's just like when you think about where he came from and what he became, it's just crazy to think about. But yeah. So all the moments we're talking about, everything in when it comes to Stone Cold Steve Austin, what is your favorite Steve Austin moment? But because
I
there's so
got
many, so it's hard to choose one. But if you had to
I
choose.
got two. But I'm already gonna break our little rule. But the first one I'll tell you is him being a Booker T in a supermarket. This was like '02, something like that. Yeah. This was him being
Dude,
yeah.
the supermarket was so fucking funny because you hear Steve speaking over the PA system,
Oh yeah.
and of course it starts. You see Booker T seeing a guy, a bald guy in a Steve Austin shirt, or like a guy that looked like Steve Austin from behind, and he starts beating him up.
Vaguely.
Then you turn around, oh, it's not even him, and then here comes Stone Cold beating this man with bread, fucking meat, fucking like I don't know. My favorite part of that whole thing was when he came out of like the meat, like not the meat, but like the milk cooler.
Yeah.
Hey, Book, you got milk?
Bro. It's one of those like the way like down to the way that they shot it and the way that it's like choreographed, obviously. It's like note for note perfect comedic timing from the bumps to the actual dialogue in and of itself. It's like one of those like it really is like a product of its era in the sense of like obviously it's so super tongue in cheek, but it works in the best way.
Yeah, and like it's just one of those really iconic things that the WWE used to do. Like it's just like the absurdity about it all.
Hmm.
And even the ending where like I would like to get a rain check on a jackass. Like it was just so because only Steve Austin could get away with doing funny ass shit like that. Because like the thing about Stone Cold, like he's so serious, like he's really
Hmm.
trying to like beat somebody's ass, but he does it in just like the funniest way possible.
And I think I was watching an R-Truth interview. It was probably a Chris Van Vliet interview. Um and R-Truth has said all the greats, if you really think about it, they all have some sort of like funny comedic aspect to them. And I think that that was like one of the things where Stone Cold like really shined.
Hmm. Like, see, now, man, what can you say about Stone Cold, man? Oh my God. Like, granted, I wasn't really alive to see all of the shenanigans live. Of course, I had to like go back and look because, like, like by the
Yeah.
time I was really able to start watching wrestling, I was like 6 or 7. So like I wasn't really exposed to all that until like way later on, you know. But like, man, if I had to pick a moment, so for me, well, obviously the one on my background is a great moment. It's not my favorite though. Like it's there's some
Yeah, that's the beer truck moment, right? Yeah.
yeah, when he sprayed Shane and his father with the beer. Um Jesus, there's so many. But like you just got to
I'm
go
not
back
gonna
to
lie. An underrated one that's a little bit more recent. Him giving Pat McAfee a stunner. That's one of my favorites.
because the thing about Stone Cold, he's gonna stun everybody. Like even if he's there to help you or you're having a beer with him, he's going to stun the fuck out of you and never give
And
a
it's the way how Pat sold it too, because he does the after he takes the stunner and he takes the bump, he falls back and he does the Triple H splash into the air also, and then continues to still drink the beer.
and that is the funniest because like getting I feel like getting Stone Cold stunned by Stone Cold is like one of those things where it's like a rite of passage or like one of those things
Yeah.
where it's like if it happens to you, you gotta like respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got like I'm like if he wanted to hit a Stone Cold Stunner on me, I'm like, hey, go crazy,
Do
man.
what you gotta do.
Hey, it's Stone Cold. I'm honored. It is what it is. But like
Exactly.
you gotta like for me, you gotta go back to the promo, the Austin 316 promo. Because you gotta think like he just won King of the Ring. He
Hmm.
beat Jake the Snake Roberts, and he's getting interviewed by I think it was Michael Hayes, and
Yeah.
wasn't Michael Hayes? I'm sure it was Michael Hayes, and you know what I'm saying he just you talk about your Psalms, talk about your John 316. Well, Austin 316, I
316
just
and
whipped
we
your
whooped
ass.
your ass.
Like full like you gotta think like he pulled that shit out of his ass. That wasn't scripted, that wasn't planned. Like you could just feel the rawness of the moment
Yeah.
at the time he did it, and like it just felt like you knew he was going to be special. Like maybe you may have not predicted how special he became, and also like that almost got cut short because obviously he had like the major neck injury the year after. So
Yeah.
and so like even without that, we still like we just don't know how big he could have gotten. And that was kind of like that moment where you just think, oh yeah, he has that shit. So like
And the thing is that it's always funny because you and I have this debate, or we've had this debate with others in our group chat all the time about like what's the best promo or whatever. I'm a die hard, very like very 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 strong believer of the pipe bomb being the best. But every time, every time you bring up the 316, I have no defense. I kind of just have to let that go.
the
It
I'll say
it's
like this comparing the two. I'll say like this because like both I'm pretty sure were like unscripted things.
yeah.
You know, guys who just had something to get off their chest. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would say they're definitely one and two.
Yeah, it's
Whether
like it's a 1A 1B situation.
whichever one you think is the best one, it's a toss up. Like I'm not gonna argue with you either way. Cause like CM Punk had when he said he had a lot to get off his chest, he meant that shit. Like he sat down and started talking his shit to the point where they had to turn his microphone off.
I've
Like
never been so scared of a man in a crisscross.
like he just sat there and just said, you know what? Fuck this place. Like he just really just sat down and like just spoke his mind. And Stone Cold and CM Punk have that ability to just go out there, say what they need to say, and it matters. It means something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like two of the best on the mic to ever fucking do it. It's a shame.
absolutely.
Honestly, it's really a shame we never like. Of course, like generations separate each other, but like if those two were to ever get into like a serious promo battle in the ring, it would just be fantastic. Would
Oh man.
I would pay a lot of money to see that confrontation. Like, granted, we got a
I
couple things backstage or whatever, but like, could you like? I couldn't imagine CM Punk and Stone Cold like both in their primes.
Yeah, prime
Just
promo battle.
Jesus, that also
It's
would
all
be
right.
entertaining.
It's all right. We're gonna talk about promo battles a little later on in this episode. So trust, best believe, we gonna talk a little bit more when it comes down to the art of the mic, the gift of the gab. But right now, we're on the collision course for collision, aren't we?
No, we don't watch that
No.
shit. We're revolutionaries.
You're right. I'm
Oh
sorry.
God, I
My
have a
bad.
lot to say about this show because there was so much good, but there was so much bad. Well, I wouldn't say there was a lot of bad, but the bad brought it down so much. Oh my God.
Yeah. We
So,
had a lot of five-star matches, but then there was just some things where I was just like, all right, what are we doing overall?
so AEW Revolution, right,
Mhm.
was a week from today. It was a week ago today. So,
Yeah.
of course, AEW Revolution took place in the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Huge card. I think it was like a 12 match card overall.
Something
Um,
like that.
so now, first of all, I will say this: they have my precious Adam Cole on the fucking 0 hour, and I cannot express with enough vitriol and anger how much I want to punch Tony Khan in his jaw. But I'll also say, I mean,
It was a stat card, bro.
If Adam Cole's, but it's Adam Cole, baby.
That's fair.
Like, damn, like, why is Adam Cole, baby, on the pre-show? Jesus. But of course, like the main card started off with Hangman Page and MJF. Now, those two have fantastic chemistry, promo battles,
Mhm.
the wrestling, everything. Like the fact that they haven't really been linked before now is very, very sad because they went out there and fucking killed it. And I look forward to them going at it more because those two are great. Um,
I was
now,
gonna say that was an insane matchup. However, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Adam Page and MJF shoves his balls in my face, I'm airing
yeah,
the
that
place
was
out.
crazy mid match.
I'm airing the place out.
That was so crazy mid match. He would have had to fight me. I'm not gonna lie. Like that was
Like,
just a crazy thing to do. Like, did you plan that? Because like,
no, for real. There's no way they talked about that. And another grown man was like, "Yeah, go ahead, shove your ball."
like,
Like,
but like the thing about AEW is the wrestling's always going to be good.
that's what he
Usually,
did.
9 times out of 10. So like that was it was a great opener for the main card, and then we move
Right?
on to the
It's
first title
been
match of the night, which was Mercedes Moné defeating Momo Watanabe. Um, another solid match. I would say it did feel like it dragged on at times, but overall, great match. Mercedes been killing it lately with her belt collection shit. Honestly, at this point, have her go after the AEW World Women's title. I don't care.
Yes, I
Give
would
her,
love it.
give her every title, or put her against Athena, at some point. Give me that because
They've
Athena,
been teasing the her and Athena match for a
bro.
little bit on socials for like the past couple
My
weeks.
thing is Athena because Athena has been the best women's champion in wrestling for at least the last like 2 years, I think. Because her reign
Mhm.
has been, I think her reign's been over 2 years at this point. Like even like I remember when she was Ember Moon in NXT and WWE, like she was one of my favorites. Like the way she wrestles, her intensity in the ring, just her style, her character, her aesthetic. I've always been a huge fan, and I'm glad that she's being able to really flaunt her shit as a competitor at this point. Now, but back to the match. Match was a really good match.
It was,
Mercedes ended up winning with her crossface. Like hey, I always love a good belt collector gimmick. I love a good belt collector gimmick. I always have. I always will.
and
Um,
honestly, if anyone deserves it, especially at well, let me not say from a technical level, because I think there are a couple people in AEW on the women's side that are a little bit technically better than Mercedes,
mhm.
but someone who encapsulates the whole package and can really do it all. I understand why Mercedes is the one being pushed to have the belts and to go after. And honestly, she deserves it after with the
Yeah,
career that
like
she's had.
she's just she's a star. I mean, like she just has. I hate using this word unironically, but she just has the aura. Like she just has it about her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the charisma to go along with like she's just like everyone like we know what we're getting with her. Like she's fantastic. Um
And the fact that she's willing to travel to all these different promotions while still being very much an AEW export, like at the time we're recording this, she just had a match against Indy Hartwell for
yep.
House of Glory.
Uh-huh.
And man, every clip I have seen from that match makes me want to go watch the actual full House of Glory show.
Bro, I want to go to a hog show so bad. Like
Same.
I need them to come to the DC area like at some point, like for sure, because I definitely want to see that because like the clips I have seen, like the matches I have seen are like really fucking good, and they put on a really
Because
really good product.
that was a crazy card. It was Mercedes, Indy, Zilla versus D-Jack.
Like, see, and I'm glad Dijak's getting good work at this point because it's really a shame that he got drafted and they just did nothing with him because what was the fucking point? Like they definitely didn't give him enough. But back to the Revolution. After the Mercedes Moné match, you have Swerve Strickland beating Ricochet with the number one contendership for the AEW World Title on the line, as well as Prince Nana's robe. Now, I'll be the first to admit, uh, not a huge fan of Swerve. Never have been. Well, I was more of a fan like before like around and before the NXT days. I just don't know what it is about him now. I just be like, dude. But I'll give him credit. Excellent performer in the ring.
I was about to say you can't say that
Like,
Swerve
I'm not gonna sit here and
wrestled his
lie and
ass
say
off.
he can't wrestle. Just the man can wrestle his ass off. The brother can wrestle.
Yeah,
And of course, like Ricochet doing with the whole heel thing, like as corny and as like head ass as it is, I
it's
just
the
like
most
it.
invested we've felt. It's the most invested we felt about him in a long time.
Like, dude, like, like just he's someone that you just want to slap the shit out of.
Absolutely, and the fact that he's playing into it now is actually a benefit for him.
Yes, because like he just wasn't able to really show a lot of character back in WWE. Like he wasn't allowed to really he didn't really have the platform to have that much of a personality. So like what he's doing now, he's really like it's kind of the same thing with like Ali. Like they're really really good
Yeah,
character wrestlers, like great in the ring, but when you give them a chance to really show their character on screen, they're going to do a fantastic job. And that's what they've both been doing. Like Ricochet is, I love what he's doing right now as head ass as it is, I'm a fan, and I want him to be a champion.
very.
Like I need him to be wearing a championship title by the end of the year.
I could definitely see him making a great heel champion.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, and even not really even like a chicken shit heel kind of champion, but like he'll go out there and still
Mhm.
wrestle a little some dirty tactics every now and then. But otherwise, he's going to go out there
Yeah,
and scrap. One of the best in the world, always has been. Just never had the platform, and I'm glad he's getting it. It's just like some of the shit he be saying. I'm like, oh my god, dude. All right.
if they can make his run in AEW anywhere near his Lucha Underground run, I forget what his name was then,
It's
but
Coma.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if they can match that up, I'll be happy.
Um. Uh. Okay. Now there was a crazy three-match run on this card, but now the Okada Brody King match was wasn't a bad match. It was just Brody King
I think yeah,
carrying Brody King carrying Okada in a match wasn't on my bingo card. Like it just kind of felt like Brody King
it
was
felt
doing
awkward.
the whole yeah. Like I thought that was going to be match of the night. Like when I first saw the card, I was like, oh yeah, that's the match I'm gonna look out for. Really, like, of course, like Kenny Omega and Kenosuke were going to cook. They were going to kill it. Like we knew that. But like
Mhm.
I just thought Okada and Brody King were going to be like that one match when you go, did you see that shit? You know?
Yeah,
And and of course you got the tag team title match with the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby and Shelton beating the Outrunners. Now, hey, my boys are champions. I'm happy. It always
exactly. We
it
needed
always makes
Bobby
me
and
happy.
Shelton to do what needs happen.
It always and it's crazy because like Shelton has never been a world champion anywhere. And it's just
Don't
like
remind me because I'm just gonna cry.
he's so good.
The
Like he's
only thing about him is that he's just not great on the mic.
and a lot of people aren't great on the mic, but they still get championship opportunities.
That's
Like
fair.
and like think about it, you didn't give him a chance because like when he was a gold standard, like I'm like I could have got behind him as world heavyweight champion at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was a really good U.S. champion to me. So I'm like he could have been a world heavyweight champion in 2009 or 2010. Like come on now, as opposed to fucking I don't know Jack Swagger.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on
Yeah.
anybody, but I'm like if you can make Jack Swagger world champion multiple times,
No, no, no. Let's
You can have Shelton be champion one time.
again, I say none of this in offense to the actual person in the ring. But if Jinder Mahal can be a champion, you can make Shelton Benjamin a
See,
champion.
I'll be the first to admit, like General Hall, in hindsight, like it really wasn't that bad. Granted, like the circumstances behind it were very janky because we all know why.
Yeah, the politics of it all.
We know why the old man was trying to do that. But like I was like, you know what? Okay, like after he beat Randy and I kind of got over it, I was like, you know what? Let's see what he does with it. But you know what? It's a fun little tidbit to look back on. Like I like looking back at it, I don't hate it. I didn't hate it. It was okay.
So you
But
think of it as one of those, oh, remember that? Remember that happened?
yeah, like I look on it fondly as opposed to like remember that shit. Like I remember that segment where like everyone thought The Rock was gonna come back, and they were like because they were saying like it was a former WWE champion, this, that, and the third, and Jinder comes out. The
I'm
Rock
not gonna
still
lie,
came out to
that
the
was
Rock still
funny.
came out, but like hearing Jinder's music hit and watching the crowd just like what the fuck, like
No,
dude, I loved
that
it.
was funny, but that did piss me off a little bit
It
because
pissed
I
me
was
off because
like,
I was like, are you niggas serious? Like, granted, it was too good to be true, and they still gave everyone what they wanted after the fact.
mhm.
But like, at the moment it happened, everyone's like, man, fuck this.
All right, we jumping around. Let's get back because we got a lot to run through.
Yeah,
But
we are jumping
honestly,
around.
in my opinion, what we're about to talk about now, this is match of the night.
Boy, and it's crazy because like it was one of the shortest, but Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May, the final act, that Falls Count Anywhere match. Oh my god.
My
Like,
God,
I'll preface this by saying that was probably my favorite women's match like of all time. Like it was I love because a lot of traditionalists are like, I don't want to see my women bleeding in wrestling. Shut up. Shut up. Like they like the way they really went out there and embraced the hardcore aspect of the match. And
yeah,
even when you see moments like where you have like the buckets with the glass in it and they're like wrapping their hands up, putting their like the glass on their hands, and Mariah May's like you look at her and she's like, "Oh, I'm not built for this." Like you see that look on her face, but she still went full send during the match.
that's the
Like,
thing. Like for their beef to have escalated to this point, and like the thing about it is that like I don't like matches where it's like, oh, we're just upping it for the sake of upping it. This matched the intensity of the story that they were trying to tell, and I think it came to like a perfect like headway. And so like Timeless Tony, man. Oh,
I love
I
it.
I don't
She
know
was
what there
bleeding
is to
bad
say.
though.
Yeah,
She was
like
bleeding bad, like profusely.
much earned PTO, like much earned
Oh, for
PTO
sure.
from this match. And I think the chemistry the two of them have is very insane. I like that this is the end of the beef for now.
Mhm.
However, they are going to have to circle back at some point. They are going to have to find a way to revitalize this.
Because but like even if that's like if that really is her last match, that was such a perfect way to end it. Like Mariah May showed me a lot. Tony Storm showed me a lot. Like oh god, like give me more women's death matches.
Oh
Give
yeah.
me more of that. That shit was fucking fantastic. I watched it back in preparation for this, and I'm like, dude, that's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. As short as it might have been, like that, I I have nothing but great things to say about it.
It's definitely hey man, definitely 5 stars. I don't know about greatest I've ever seen, but definitely 5 stars.
Like, cause like when you grow up a WWE fan, you're just not used to good women's wrestling like when it was under the older regime. You just weren't used to it.
Yeah,
Now, granted, like we've been getting that over the last like 10 or 11 years, like better quality in the mainstream, like in the US. Because obviously, like great women's wrestling has existed everywhere. It's just, of
yeah.
course, like the Fed refused to really showcase that. But like seeing the matches women are having now, like when they started having women last women standings, Hell in a Cells, You got cage matches, you got death matches, you got all these other matches. Like Tony Storm and Mariah May went out there and fucking ripped it. Like
Absolutely.
that's man. And so and talking about this insane string of matches, you ended up with after this you ended up with Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW International Championship. Now, Konosuke Takeshita is one of the, in my opinion, the best like young wrestler in the world right now. Like his character work, his recent title reigns, like he's really, really like next up. Like he has a great look, powerful, can go in
Mhm.
the ring with anybody. Like his first three matches, I think were against like Sami Zayn, Kenny Omega, and someone else. Like his first three matches were against legends of this game. Like he was never going to fail.
Yeah.
He was never going to fail. Like, and I think he's only like 26. And then Kenny Omega, like with the, like the immune problems he's having, the injury issues, all these other things. He's coming to, like I remember him saying like he'll never be 100% ever again.
I
Like,
was about to say because he sat out for a little bit, right?
yeah, like there were there like over the last couple of years, he sat out for extended periods of time, multiple times. So it's just like, damn, like you have that feeling that his career is not going to last that much longer. But
Hmm.
like they went out there and had a fucking belter, had a great match. Wasn't a whole lot, wasn't any really shenanigans, wasn't really a whole lot of BS going on.
It
And
was
it's
just straight grabs.
straight graps. Like it's what you would expect from these two. You know what I'm saying? Just like having like that stiff style. You know what I'm saying? Of course, like with just like though like because you got Konosuke has more of like a power technical game. Kenny's is more like high octane, more just more really pedal to the
Yeah, he's more intensity with it.
yeah, and it's just like they mesh together so well, and I'm glad that I caught that match. That was an excellent match. Um, and then of course you move to Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, former friends,
I'm not
former
gonna lie.
buds.
This was a really, really dope match. Just because you know me, I'm a story driven guy. So this,
Uh-huh.
so this is honestly the match that made me a Will Ospreay fan because seeing that it was basically mentor versus mentee, a very like come to it was a very like come to grace kind of moment for the two of them. Plus the fact of again, this is another match where it was just pure graps. It was a great mix of it all.
Yes. Yeah, like and even when the match started and they're standing across from each other on top of the cage, and like you just hear the crowd screaming, "Osprey, Osprey!" Like just seeing that, like that
Yeah.
visual, like these two were aura farming like crazy, and it was
Oh yeah.
like it was so much fun just to see that, and like the personal, like the blood, the physical aspect of it was just fantastic. You felt the personal beef with every strike, every punch, every kick, every stunt. Like it was definitely an early, like just a masterclass of excellence with this match. Um, man, and like I love the ending. Like Kyle's like, "Fuck you, I hate you." Like really, like I hate you, Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Like
And
like you felt the emotion, you felt so much in that time. Like it was just a lot going on, like a lot of emotions going on, and it just encapsulated in something fantastic. Like,
you felt moved, you felt invested. Because again, like I said, like just I'm not like I'm very upfront. I'm not a huge AEW person, but I'm expressing and trying to get myself into more products. So I was like, okay, cool. I was invested and locked in immediately once this match was on. I was like, all right, I know exactly how, and the fact that it's like you said, it's captivating, it's encapsulating, and the fact like there's only so many ways that you can make a steel cage match feel like invigorating and feel different.
hmm
This is one of those ways where it's like, okay, this is something that you could take a unique angle from because the bumps that they were taking, the way that they were using the cage was a little bit different than we've seen in other promotions and such like that.
hmm
And again, the ending, you can feel the hate first off. if we're talking hating in wrestling, there was a lot of hating in wrestling this week. We're gonna get
A
into
whole lot, a whole lot.
a whole lot of hating. But when it
I'm
comes
about to do a lot of
down,
hate. I'm about to do a lot of hating in a second.
yeah, because when it comes down to endings, unlike the Will Ospreay Kyle Fletcher ending, the ending to this match,
Let me hold on, actually.
oh my God.
Let me have like a minute.
I'm gonna say, go ahead, go tee it up, tee it up.
John Moxley versus I'm calling that man Edge. I'm calling him
His
Edge.
mama named him Edge.
I'm not calling that fucker Cope. I'm calling him Edge.
his mama named him Edge. He gonna be Edge.
Yeah, like, but first of all, you can just it's just the match wasn't good. Like just to begin with. Like you can tell like Edge ain't moving like he used to. And I'm not saying I'm tired of Mox. I'm glad that he's getting his well due, like being a top guy and everything. But God, that match was just exhausting to get through. Like it took everything in me to watch it to the end. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, you have a story here. You got Christian with this contract. Him and Edge still have beef. You can go back to that. You could, you can go back to that. Maybe have Edge win and then have Christian win the title. I don't know. Something. You have
Yeah,
a built-in story here. Christian cashes in this contract.
which honestly I wasn't mad at. I wasn't mad at when it
And
happened.
and proceeds to get choked out by John
Now
Mox.
that's where they lost me.
And it really felt like neither guy wanted to lose to the other.
Yeah,
So you
it's
sacrifice,
Christian.
in my opinion,
Hmm.
the best heel in wrestling when you give him a chance. I just have no words for how angry I was about that because
Well,
like you could have done literally anything. You could have done literally anything. You could you could have had either man win the match straight up. But no, you
mm,
had to go and waste Christian's contract for what reason?
there's no like, and the thing is that there's no because we were just talking about fulfilling endings. There is nothing fulfilling to having that contract wasted, knowing that all that does is just build up knowing that all that does is build up anticipation for him to actually get the belt off of Mox.
Man, I didn't want to talk about the shit anymore. Like that, like it's just because now what? Is Swerve going to beat him? Like what are we doing? What are we doing now?
Look, they're gonna
And
run Swerve.
not only that, you're running it back in a street fight this week.
Yeah, yeah,
Who asked for that?
yeah.
Like
They're,
what?
they're running it back on Wednesday.
If you were just going to run it back, you could have had someone win straight up if you were just going to run it back, or
Yeah.
maybe an or any other finish that didn't involve sacrificing Christian. I
No,
did
for real.
not
Because
like that.
honestly, that is the biggest issue. It's not a matter of fact of, oh, okay, cool. So Mox is retaining the title. Anyone that's familiar with the dynamic, anyone that's familiar with the dynamic of Mox and Tony Khan, you understand.
That would have been fine. I would have been good with that. I'd have been good.
It is literally just the instance of why are we sacrificing Christian to do this? You are 100% correct.
Like the what? Man, enough. Man, I overall, it would have been a great show. The ending ruined it. It would have been a like because it was a great show up until that point. Now, I
Yeah.
didn't expect that match to follow the three matches before. I didn't expect the match to do nearly as well as the matches before it. But you just gave me an absolute shit on a plate. Like my God. This is my dessert.
I think I think I texted you. I was like, "Oh, look what they're doing to look what my goat is doing to himself." Because Edge is like top five for me. Look at what he is
Like,
doing to himself.
why are you doing this to yourself, Cope? Why? Adam?
Oh my. Oh
Why,
no, for real.
Adam? Why?
and then he's gonna go off and he's gonna play Aries again in Percy Jackson. And I'm so
Because like if Edge loses on Wednesday, then it's like, what are we really doing? What are we
yeah,
really?
no. He has to like there's
Someone
no
has to get pinned.
yeah,
It's a street fight. Someone got to get pinned. There has to be a winner. So
someone.
one of y'all
And
motherfuckers better make a decision. I don't know. Because let's know, like for real, like somebody got to lose.
and
Like
it's so
the
it's
shit y'all pulled last Sunday, that's just not going to fly on Wednesday. I promise you, it's not.
and it's so funny because when if you really think about it, it's just ego over someone taking a pin in a decision that's going to be reversed in like a couple of weeks.
And that's why I'm just like, wow. But man, enough about that. We have to go pay some bills. Please, we're gonna take a very, very swift break. Thank y'all. We'll be back.
Uh, Keep my composure, never been letting them close. Some of the niggas be snakes and fakes, and most of the niggas is poses. Birdie gon' say that it's life in a movie, really we getting him posted. Feel like I'm Gotti, I don't do karate, I move with this host.
As always, I hate Mondays. Hate them. Hate
I
them.
also hate Mondays
I hate them really bad. But I will say this:
so badly.
I don't hate Monday Night Raw.
Not at all. Hey man,
now,
it's the flagship.
now Monday Night Raw was a decent show. You know, like of course, a very run of the mill type of show. Um, Open with Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller. You know what I'm saying? Decent match, but of course you got the whole oop de whoop, the shenanigans that go with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, which why they're still together, I simply can't figure
For
out.
the love of God, after Vengeance Day, I would have thought that they would have split.
Bro, there's not even really much to talk about. Like Jay hit bro with the spear to win the match. You know what I'm saying? After some shenanigans, whatever. What really is pissing me
Luther
off?
came out, choked him out, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Like, what's really getting me about Raw? Well, because like you had AJ Styles, you have AJ Styles feuding with Logan Paul of all people.
This is TNA great, AJ Styles.
My precious goat AJ Styles,
Former world champion,
and
AJ
you
Styles.
and you one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Alan Jones Styles, and you have him feuding with Logan Paul with WrestleMania a month away.
Yeah.
Not only that, you made Andrew Schultz a fucking babyface.
Yo, that was yo. What are we doing? Because so let me just real quick, because you've heard me say this multiple times in our private conversations. I'm very, very fearful that we are going to be heading into the celebrity era all over again.
And because here's my thing, there's nothing wrong. Because the thing that wrestling is doing, well, the thing that WWE is doing now is like it's really, really appealing to like what I keep on fucking saying to y'all. Like they're appealing to a very mainstream casual audience. That's what they're catering to. It's about the entertainment part, not really the wrestling part. And I hate that. So I'm like, it's a wrestling company. Why can't we just wrestle? Like, 'cause I promise you can have the entertainment along with the wrestling. I
You
promise.
really can.
I promise you can have as much sports as entertainment and sports entertainment. I promise you. The wrestlers you have on the roster can do it. We've seen them do it. We've seen them do it in other companies. Like we've seen like
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, CM Punk. We've seen these guys wrestle 5-star matches. We've seen it.
Shit, we've seen them do it in your company.
Like if you can, here's my thing: five matches should not be as rare in WWE as they are. Now, granted, that might be Dave Meltzer's fault. Dave Meltzer might just be an ass kisser because when you look at how many 5-star reviews that AEW gets, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Now, like you have so much talent. Like you can, like we've seen the mic skills. We've seen the promo about like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, like Drew McIntyre, all these guys that can wrestle, they can talk. Like it's all there. Andrew Schultz and Logan Paul on my TV. I just don't want to see that. I like I need I just I don't want to see that, especially not with my goat AJ Styles. I'm still disappointed about that bullshit because I
I
just
think my whole thing is like, so it's confirmed if you've been watching AJ Styles' interviews and everything, we've only got 2 years left. Is this what we're doing?
that's what I'm
Is this
saying.
really how we want to? Is this really how we want to utilize his
And
time?
I wouldn't know how to react if I saw Logan Paul pin AJ Styles.
I,
Because
yo, I'd go
because
ballistic.
we're going to be watching WrestleMania together at least one night. I don't know which one night. It might be
Yeah,
WrestleMania Sunday, but either way,
I'd go ballistic.
if
I'm so sorry.
if we're in the same room and we watch Logan Paul pin AJ Styles, just shoot me.
I'd
I,
go
I just
fucking
I can't
ballistic.
even I can't even fathom such a thing happening. I don't even want to imagine that. But let's move
And
on.
bro,
Let's move on before I
yeah,
get
let's just move on. Because,
now the tornado tag team match between the New Day and the and
oh, okay, this is my time to tell you. This is my time to rant.
um
Oh my fucking
of
God.
course you still have Kofi with the disgusting mustacheless facial hair. Disgusting. He just
Oh,
looks like a villain.
that's
Like
that's not
I
even what I'm
love
annoyed
what
about from that
you know
match.
on the positive note, I love what Kofi and Xavier are doing. They're actually really, really
Oh,
great heels. Well, I mean, we knew they had it in them, but it's funny. But
character work is amazing.
I'm gonna let you get your shit off real quick. What you got for me, man?
All right, so oh my God,
This is a this is
mind
a
you.
this is a LWO apologist right here. Like this is a
Oh no, I really am. I am. Look, oh my God, I'm such an LWO apologist. You would think I was Eddie Guerrero's lost black son.
oh my
But
god,
anyway, with that being said, like, I really do just want them to get one win. Just one.
just
Just
one.
one. Just one fucking win.
We
And
don't ask for
the,
much.
the and the New Day has been dog walking the LWO this whole feud, it seems like. Because they stole the win the match before, and then I don't give a fuck. We know it's Chad Gable. The shit literally says American Dream.
No, that was so funny. No, wait, listen. Now, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Now, when Bro said Gracia, I was like, oh my god, Chad Gable. And of course, you
The
had
thing is,
the fucking interview segment where you see
yeah,
a guy getting taken out that looks like he was dressed as Chad Gable, or who we thought was Chad Gable. I don't know. Look, listen,
and the
listen,
thing is, like, son, the
listen,
suplex gives it away.
listen.
The
But maybe,
suplex matches
maybe that's
Gable's.
the point, though. Maybe it was supposed to look that way. I don't know. I'm gonna just let them cook because because the thing about Chad Gable, he'll make anything work. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch him do his thing. I'm going to enjoy watching
I
him.
will say, Chad is one of those guys where he's willing to do whatever, and I appreciate him for it so much. We need guys like that on the roster.
Oh yeah, for sure. Love that man. Love that man to death. I hope he gets to be a champion soon. But and then you had a number one contenders match between Bailey and Raquel Rodriguez. Winner faces Lyra Valkyria at some point. Um, Bailey put her over. I mean,
Why are we potentially toying with the idea of the two belt Raquel?
two belt rock.
Uh,
Now, I don't even know what to say about this because, like, I would imagine Lyra's going to beat Raquel. I would have to imagine.
yeah,
I thinking about it, I would have to imagine Raquel loses this match. But you know what I'm saying? Bailey seems to be in a place where it's like she's having fun because she got
oh,
her
absolutely,
she got her Rumble win. She got her title win at WrestleMania last year. Now she's helping younger talent get put over and things like that. So, but I
amazing,
but
love
I
it.
hope I hope and pray that does become her role from now on because I just hope we don't go there because I love Bailey to death and she deserves the world. Love her to death. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, she absolutely does.
But decent TV match as always. Bailey's always going to put on a good match for anybody. But now my favorite, well, I'll say my favorite part of the show. Excuse me, when you had because I'm just preface it with this. Everyone that keeps on doubting and disrespecting Io Sky, I will fuck you up. Because listen, Io Sky in my is one of the best wrestlers in the world, regardless of gender. This woman is fantastic. One of the best moonsaults in the game. Great technician, great strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a champion. Love her to death.
Mm-hmm.
Love Io Sky. Io Sky can do no wrong in my eyes. But you got her, Bianca, and Rhea going at it in a promo battle. You know what I'm saying? It starts off with Bianca and Io in the ring. They're talking about their match. And of course, Rhea comes out. Why are you even out here, Bianca? The whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Not taking accountability for herself losing when it was her fault because she wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it becomes a thing where it's like Io's getting pushed out of the picture. Like first Rhea, stuffs her out the picture.
Oh.
Then Bianca stuffs her out the picture. And then Io gets up. Rhea, smacks shit out of her. Looks at Bianca, smacks shit out of her. Like, my girl will not be disrespected. Y'all got my girl.
I'm not gonna lie. When Io did the double slap, I laughed so hard. So
I got my girl fucked up, dog.
Yo, oh my God. And so obviously they're setting up the triple threat. And bro, this that segment was just really, really funny and really hilarious because it really felt like I was watching a three-way death match. I was like, what are we doing here? Because Io's just trying to, be like, hey guys, I'm just trying to be happy that I just want to have a good match. I don't care who it's against. And then they just bring in their egos into it.
Yeah, because my thing is I don't want Io to be a transitional champion. I don't need that because that would just be a disservice. Because no,
it would be a disservice. However, brother, let's not doubt the power of Bianca Cena.
I'm not because and my thing is this. Neither Rhea or Bianca need the win. Neither one of them need to win, in my opinion. Like neither one of them needs to be a champion right now. Now, if you were to belt up Bianca, I wouldn't have an issue. If you were to just belt up Rhea right now, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Why do we even have?
Okay, yes. If they belted up Rhea, at Mania, that's the point where that would throw the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Because like you said, what are we doing here? However, I think, yeah, I see where you're coming from in the sense of Bianca does not need the win. However, given the fact that she is one of the biggest faces in the company and actually not even arguably, probably definitively the biggest baby face of the women's division, she's gonna need gold.
She can have gold elsewhere. She can go to SmackDown.
You think? Okay, because we know how it works when Charlotte gets in the picture. You think they're gonna have her?
I'm not talking about her more than I have to. We'll talk about her. We'll talk about SmackDown. I'm not doing that right now.
My bad, because I'm
not. No,
I was just posing the question.
I have words about the whole thing too. But either way, respect Io Sky, motherfuckers.
Oh no, absolutely respect Io Sky. I'm not mad at that.
Now,
but let's keep pushing. Let's talk about Cody.
Now, of course, Cody had a promo talking about John. How John Cena is not showing up and this, that, and the third. Man,
John, where you at?
I cannot wait to watch Raw tomorrow. I'm glad that I'm off and I'm able to watch because it's coming on at 3 p.m., which is gross. I get why, but God, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh my God, I cannot.
Oh my God, I feel like I don't. Because the thing about it is, I don't know what we're going to get tomorrow. I don't know what John Cena I'm going to get. Is he going to be out? Is he going to be wearing a suit? Is he going to be wearing jorts? Is he like what? Like is he going to go like corporate? You know, like what are we going to get from John Cena tomorrow? And that's what I'm really trying to figure out. That's what I'm really trying to anticipate.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I'm excited though.
I am too, and I really like the intensity that Cody's been showing recently. Well, he's always shown this type of intensity with his promos, but it seems like, especially given the high stakes of this match, it's been a little bit reinvigorated. And like I said earlier, we're going to talk a little bit more about promos, especially when it comes to Cena in a little bit, given everything that's happening tomorrow. But man, man, I can't wait. I just had to talk about that before we get into the real deal,
The main event.
pure hatred of the main event
The
from
main event.
Raw.
So of course you had Seth Rollins and CM Punk in the main event in a steel cage match. Oh, see now this was a it was a good cage match.
Very good cage
I
match.
very much enjoyed the match because it's another thing where just like with the Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay match, you just feel the emotion. You feel the
Yeah.
like the real like real life beef here. Like you feel like all the feelings that they feel, you're feeling all of that. Like the way they look at each other, the way that like the way they're going at it, like it was a crazy match. Because the thing about it was like it was just like watching a simulated match of like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain where everyone has their finisher icons and everyone's just spamming
Oh,
finishers. Because
yeah.
I'm like,
How is he kicking out of like three GT? How is he like out of three GTSs?
he's got like 4 or 5 finishers. Each one's got
Yeah.
4 or 5. And, and I'm just like, I just want finishers to be protected. That's all I
Oh
ask for.
my God.
I just want
Bro,
protected finishers in wrestling. That's it.
can I say real quick, can we give a shout out to Omar? Because Omar said the funniest thing in our group chat. Shout out to the homie Omar. Omar said, I remember back in my day, finishers meant the match was finished.
Like what? Like what's the point now? Like I get a kick out if like the stakes are high enough, but like we are doing outs wrong.
Yeah.
Really doesn't mean that much. You know what I'm saying? But that's the conversation for another day. But either way, like great match ended with Seth Rollins getting jacked up out of the fucking cage by a returning Roman Reigns. Um, I'm talking about like this man like really like
Oh no, he yanked, bro. Like,
seen from a boy. Yeah, that's right. Cry for your mama. Like real jacked the nigga up and started beating his
bro,
ass.
you
Now,
remember when Bianca and Jade used to be running around talking about snatch and drag? That's what he did.
really, like no, dead ass. Like, and it's so like he hit him with the stomp too, and them fucking brick fours. Shout out to Moraine. Shoe game's always crazy.
Yeah.
Now, what I thought was the most compelling part was when CM Punk was in the ring. You didn't even see Paul at first. CM
No,
Punk's in the
for
ring getting consoled by Paul Heyman. I'm seeing that Roman Reigns sees that. We're all like,
oh, he's the jealous. He's the jealous girlfriend.
he goes in there and just finishes CM Punk off.
Absolutely.
He's like, don't touch my fucking wise man.
Yeah.
And that just leads me to think like, of course, CM Punk still has that favor from Paul. I still don't know what the fuck the favor is, but I
Bro,
guess that's going to unfold as we get closer to WrestleMania. Now, that could lead to Punk and Heyman being a unit, and maybe Punk and Roman Reigns feuding at some point, which I would love to see. Not mad at that.
I would love to see it,
I
but
just want to know what this is going to turn into.
yeah, I
And
just want two things. I want to know, well, we know where this is going.
very
It's
obvious.
very undoubted, very obvious where this road is going in terms of WrestleMania. I just want to know, one, can we please get Roman back on the full-time schedule? I beg.
I'm sorry,
I beg.
that's probably not going to happen, brother. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's not, but I beg. And secondly, can we figure out like if this leads to a reunion of Punk and Heyman coming back, and that being the favor is like, hey, I have to be the Paul Heyman guy again. I'm not gonna lie. That's beautiful, especially seeing as how it would feel like what 2011 again.
And I guess it's like one of those things where it's like, because how I interpret it is like, well, your greatest success was with Paul Heyman by your side. Maybe you need Paul Heyman
Yeah,
to give you that edge back. You know what I'm saying? It could be one of those things that he's like, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. I want to be world champion again. This is how I'm going to do it. And hey,
yeah.
I'm not opposed. It is what it is. I
Neither
mean,
am I.
but Raw is going to be must see tomorrow. Um, Now on last Tuesday, you had Roadblock,
Roadblock.
which was a very eventful show. I couldn't watch it, like I couldn't watch it live because I was at work, but I obviously caught everything after the fact.
I
Um,
mean, shoot. There's only one moment that really we need to care about. That's right behind me.
hey, listen,
Two belt.
listen.
Two belt.
Hey, 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 two belt stuff. I love it.
Two belt
oh
stuff.
my gosh. Now, just going through. Give me a second. Got to pull this up.
It started with the Hardy Boys and Fraxium.
Yeah, my glorious TNA World Tag Team Champions came back, had a banger of a match with Fraxium, early candidate for Tag Team Match of the Year. Fucking
Absolutely.
cooked, fucking killed it. The fact that I grew up watching the Hardy Boys, seeing everything, like, you gotta think, Jeff debuted in WWE when he was 16 in 1993, right?
Yeah.
He first worked for WWE in 1993. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
My mother graduated high school in 1995. Okay, like Jeff Hardy been doing this shit since before my mother was grown. Like dead ass. Like this man, I seeing him do that shit almost 30 years, like 30 years, over 30 years after the fact is crazy. It's fuck. It's
Yeah.
2025, and they're just going out there doing all this crazy shit, winning matches, winning tag team championships, and I will never get tired of it.
Not at all. Bro,
I
and
want
the fact that he's still hitting swanton bombs like he's
man.
oh 08 again.
I'm just glad to see, and I feel like he's really like at a point where it's like he's in a good place in life. You know what I'm saying? His daughter's growing up. You know what I'm saying? He seems happier. Like he's opening up more about his stuff and interviews, and like Jeff Hardy's my favorite wrestler of all time. We know that. That's my guy. But like just seeing him do what he's doing and really seeing him enjoying what he's doing, and them coming back to the like wrestling in
Yeah,
NXT,
because they
seeing
had a booked week
seeing the
this week.
reaction to it and everything. Like, it's just a beautiful thing to see, and I'm loving it. And
Yeah, and like again, like you said, you could tell that they both are really falling back in love with the art of wrestling again. Because again, they had a booked week. They did
oh, they're all over the place.
NXT, TNA. They did Heels Have Eyes in
Mhm.
Austin on Thursday. These they racking the frequent flyer miles.
Hey, and like they're just going, and I'm loving every second of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hopefully they'll come to this area at some point for a meet and greet or
Oh, I need
something.
to.
Give me a fucking reason to leave the house, please.
No, for real.
No, but
Um,
and great
so we
match.
had we had like we said, tag team candidate of the year. We had the TNA World Tag Team title match between Hardy Boys and Fraxia. Then we had Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, if this is Roxanne's last match at NXT, I'll be happy about that.
I don't think it will be, but I do think it was definitely a really great match. Good showing by both women. Jordan Grace is great. I'm glad she's getting this wider platform now. Because I've been a fan of hers for a while. Like I'm talking about like before she got shredded. So just seeing her in NXT is great. I'm glad she's here and she's going to be a great champion at some point whenever they decide to do that. I'm going to keep this because fuck Moose. Fuck Moose and fuck Moose again.
Hey, the ruler, the ruler. That's all we need to. That's all you need to
Obafemi,
know.
Obafemi, my goat.
We
Oh,
are over
love you.
feminists. Oh,
We are Oba feminists in here. Love that man. Love that man to death. Um,
absolutely.
but I will admit these. It was a damn good match. I will like.
Yeah.
I don't like Moose. I don't like Moose at all. But hey, They put a great match together. Can't lie, they did well.
Two
Um,
big meaty men slapping meat.
that's what I want to see. But of course, and then of course you have the New York City Street Fight. Javon Evans finally getting his win back over Ethan Page.
Finally. Oh my
'Cause I
God.
remember
I'm so
I
sorry.
remember we went to Vengeance Day, and even me, I was like, Javon will get his. And then look,
The
I'm and I
one
love
thing I want, that was the one thing I wanted at Avengers Day was for Javon to win, and he lost.
because
So to see this, oh my God, I was so
listen,
happy.
I love
Oh
Ethan Page. I love seeing Ethan Page win. Love that man. Love the man to death. He's one of my favorites. But him and Javon have really, really great chemistry together. I love the work they do
they
together.
do.
And that like cutter in the fucking chair that Javon did,
Oh
like
my
just
fucking
beautiful
God, that
stuff.
was beautiful.
Like Javon is really, really developing right before our eyes. Like he's always been good, you know what I'm saying? But like just seeing him really work, doing like he seems like a SmackDown guy to me. I'm just putting
Oh
it.
yeah, he's definitely a SmackDown
He
guy.
seems like a
But
smack like
also,
he seems like a SmackDown guy to me, but we'll see. Love that man.
but before we get to that, I'm not gonna lie. I believe that Shawn Spears is a transitional champion, and I think that he's just holding it until Ricky Saints. So I think Ricky and Javon, let's feud for the North American men's
And
title.
that's what I was saying too. Now, I don't want Shawn Spears to be transitional because I'm just glad that he's a champion, and I want him to have a decent reign with it. But you like you said, you got Ricky Sainz in the picture now. Javon Evans at some point is going to be elevated to the title picture, so that could be definitely something you run. Hell, I wouldn't mind seeing that triple threat match. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I don't really care. Hey, it is what it is. But that's going to be a fun program whenever that comes up. I feel like Javon Evans
Yeah.
is like really like a workhorse champion. Like he'll be
Oh,
North American
absolutely.
champion for like a fucking year. Like I can see that in him. Like he just has that.
The same way how LA's first like US title reign was, he was
Yeah,
defending every week. That's how Javon will be once he eventually
like
gets belted up.
that's the vibe he's going to give, and I look forward to seeing that whenever that comes up. Now, um, hey,
Let's talk
main
about it.
events. You
Let's
got
talk about it.
Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, title for title, winner takes all. Now, I will admit I wasn't expecting a clean finish because I was wondering, like, I was like, everyone was saying Julia was banged up and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I just knew Julia was going to win. I was like, Julia's going to win this match. Nothing against Stephanie. I just like, you know what? I'm gonna back Julia here, regardless. But
Mhm.
hey, two of the best in the world went at it. You know what I'm saying? And if Julia was banged up, I couldn't tell because
Bro, and the thing is that like for such a short match, it had so many highlights.
yes,
Oh my God. Like
yes,
I went back and I rewatched the match and it was only 10 minutes. There is a spot where Julia has grabbed Stephanie and they're going off the top. Oh my God.
dude. And the thing about it is like there were some points where Julia got booed, like when she did Stephanie McCare's move on her. You know, and I'm just
Ah,
and
that
and,
shit was
and I
beautiful. I
ain't
can't
gonna lie,
lie.
bro. Like Julia as like a heel champion
I could
I
get
will
behind that.
get so like I'm talking about really like and then start really embracing like the style she used to wrestle like back in Japan, like getting a
Mhm.
bit more stiff, a bit more mean with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm salivating at the thought. I can't fucking wait. But
And
either
so the
great, great match, great, and I'm so happy for Stephanie too. Um,
absolutely.
like just knowing her journey and everything she went through to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the obvious respect that both women have for each other and the great in-ring psychology and everything. Um, yeah, that was just a great time. Great match.
Once, because I know, like you said, there's reports of some behind the scenes stuff going on with Julia. I'm not going to talk about it because nothing's like confirmed, and I don't want to put
Of
something like
course.
that out on a platform like us. But once all that's handled, they gonna need to run this back.
Yes.
They gonna need to run this back. They have some real dope in ring chemistry that I would love to see, and also it's another thing of just like they've now laid the seeds for so much story there that
Yes,
yeah,
because I know. Because here's my thing: if it's true, and Julia needs time off and all that good shit, I mean, I hope she's not. I hope if it's true, it's not as bad as whatever. You know what I'm saying? I hope she's going to be fine pretty soon or whatever. Now,
yeah.
Stephanie can hold the NXT title. Julia, like, hey, I'm gonna need that back. I'm gonna need my title back.
Run me mines.
What we about to do about that? Like, let me get out of respect. Let me get that title shot. And
Exactly.
and whenever they run that back, hey, I will be seated in front row, watching
And the
it.
thing is that like you can tell that Stephanie has been dedicating herself to really establishing herself with the WWE style of wrestling and just
Mhm.
appealing to the fan base. So it's dope to see that the fruits of her labor are actually like fruitioning.
Yes, and it's fantastic. Seeing that visual of her holding up the belts, as you can see in your background, like it was just a beautiful thing.
Come on.
Like
Two belts
just
back.
look how happy she is. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I just love seeing things like that in wrestling. I love seeing good things happen to good people in wrestling.
For
Um,
real.
but we have to go pay bills. We have to go pay bills again. We're gonna have one more quick break and we're gonna get into the last segment of our show.
One more
Um,
break.
we'll be back. Gotta pay some bills. And I have to go take a piss. Yeah.
I walk in, pressing the fuck, I got my tans on, lands on. High some lemon with my bands on. I'm in Benz homes, roll around this bitch, I'm cool. I got tans on, counting up in the hill.
So SmackDown took place in Barcelona, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Another very run of the mill show. Nothing really crazy happened. Nothing really crazy happened. But something really cool did happen. Honestly, I just want to point out to even begin with, um, when you had Gunther facing off. Actually, a lot of shit happened on SmackDown. My brain is killing.
Yeah. I was about to say, like,
My brain is frying me.
I,
But I do want to first point out when you had we're out of order with this, but when you had Gunther facing off against Axiom in Spain. Now, I'm glad
first off, international crowds.
we're finally letting Gunther wrestle on TV. And of course,
Yeah.
Axiom being from Spain, of course he's huge over there. Shout out to A Kid. What I'm
Oh my
saying
God.
that was a great competitive non-title matchup. And like I'm hoping that we get Gunther to do more of those as his international tour goes along. And I think we will, like especially like when we get to like Germany and England and all that other good shit. You know what I'm saying? But yes, let Gunther wrestle on TV, please. Give me a fucking reason.
Bro, it was a real like even though it's very obvious that they're padding these matches to remind people how competitive he is and to remind people how dominant he is, like I just like that we were getting real graps. We got
Yes,
real graps.
bro. And anyone who says Gunther is boring, fuck you, you're boring. Like, move along. Like, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he can have a great match with anybody in the world. Gunther is that fucking guy. But I
That
think,
wasn't even Gunther and Axiom in the ring. That was Walter and A Kid.
like, really, like when you let people just go back to their roots and just fucking scrap, like every time anytime Sheamus and Drew get in the ring together, every time Sheamus and Gunther get in the ring together, like when Gunther gets in the ring with like anyone that he wrestled like any of the international stars. Like
The NXT UK.
it's just greatness. Like I'm sure if Gunther had a match with Pete Dunne right now, it'd be one of the matches of the year if you just let them go. Like if you had Gunther and Ilja again, would be one of the best matches of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Ilya, please come back.
I miss him. I miss him so much. But SmackDown did start off with a 6 man, I believe. It was
Yeah, 6 man
LA
tag.
Knight, Braun, and Jimmy versus Solo, Jacob, and Tama Tonga. Um, of course, Jacob, a fucking monster. Um,
He is a star, bro.
I, but of course, I think the team of LA Knight, Braun Strowman, and Jimmy Uso actually won the match. But of course, in the post match, Jacob beat up Braun Strowman. Jacob Fatu is a fucking star in the making. Um, I I just love him, Solo, and Tama Tonga on screen together. I cannot wait till
Yeah.
Tonga Loa comes back because I just love these guys. Yeah. Like, love them. Love him. I can't get enough of him. Like Jacob is fantastic. Now, my two really great things happened on SmackDown for me.
Hmm.
Um, for one, seeing B Fab get in the ring with Charlotte was great.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Now,
it because that's what I was wondering.
I've been a fan of her since she was with Isaiah Swerve Scott at the time.
Yeah,
um and Ashante the Adonis and Top Dollar and Hit Row when they debuted
AJ
in NXT.
Francis.
I've been a fan of her for the longest time. Now seeing her, because like she kind of like changed up her look, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's showing us that she can actually go and that she can. Well, we always knew because she can talk, but she's showing us that she can go. Like you have her in the ring with
Yeah,
Charlotte, which is crazy. Like you just have her casually in a match with arguably the greatest women's wrestler in WWE history. Like just and it's great to see her getting her spot in there. It's great to see her getting those opportunities, even if she's losing. She's getting those opportunities to wrestle against the best that the WWE has to offer. You know?
it's the same reason of why people say like, "Hey, let's wait until we really like consider Carmelo a flop for his in-ring call-up," because
Oh
because we're seeing in these instances like we always knew that B-Fab could talk. Like
yeah,
in any instance, we always knew that she was amazing on the mic.
of course.
Now it's just about matching the in-ring quality with it, which we're getting a chance to see. Because this match, first off, let me y'all know right now. Support Black women from infinity to infinity. I will be number one in the
Always,
and the B Fab fan club.
always.
So I love seeing the fact of this being a dope instance for her. Like you said, the fact that they just casually have her in the ring with Charlotte and they there was not a loss of momentum in the middle of that match at all. It says a lot about the faith that the company has in her moving
Hmm.
forward, and it says a lot about how much she's grown as an in-ring competitor. Now, obviously, we saw it get broken up by Tiffany, which I know we were about to talk about. So
Tiffany's fine,
let's straight to
and it's been my issue with the Tiffany and Charlotte thing. All Charlotte's been doing is coming out, whipping Tiffany's ass, and talking shit. Tiffany
yeah,
Tiffany finally showed some gumption and finally took the fight to Charlotte. And you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Of course she had her swanton bomb off the fucking
Are we going to talk about the
SmackDown
fact
set.
that she missed
She
Charlotte
did
both
I
of
was
those
literally
times?
about to go there. She didn't even hit her. But it's like the thing about a lot of Charlotte feuds, like these girls don't be fine fighting back against her. Like we like I need
No,
because Tiffany, she has that mean streak in her. We've seen it when she was more so on the heel side,
uh
but like just she has that. Like, come on, now, like give me a reason to believe that Tiffany has a shot to win here, and please let Tiffany win. I can't handle. I cannot handle. I just cannot handle Charlotte holding up another championship right now. I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. Please. Like but I think I do think the intensity is going to ramp up as the Mania season goes on because Charlotte gets it, Tiffany gets it, Triple H gets it. They're going to
yeah.
figure it out. I think it's just like
It's a matter of figuring out the mechanics right now.
I keep saying the longer road to WrestleMania is making everything more difficult in terms of
Yeah,
patience because everything has to get dragged out more because WrestleMania isn't until like towards the end of April.
yeah.
Like, and that's crazy. But you know, and then of course you had Carmelo Hayes in the ring with Randy Orton. You know, they have really good
Randy's first match back.
they have really good in ring chemistry, I think, and I would love to see them
They
wrestle more.
do.
Now, and it's kind of another thing too, like people saying Carmelo Hayes' run it hasn't been this, that, but he's always in the ring or in segments with fucking megastars. So y'all can complain about Melo's run all y'all want to, but he's on screen with the some of the biggest people in the company. So like
Yeah.
let them cook. Okay? He's gonna be fine.
I
He'll be a champion by next year at the latest. I promise you.
Hey, let me tell you, that's my vote for Mr. Money in the Bank.
It's for me, he would be a great Money in the Bank winner. Um, you know what's crazy too? I feel like if you were to do like a King of the Ring again, he would kill in
Ooh.
that role too, for
I
sure.
can see him do. I can see him being king in the ring.
But we on look, my vote for Money to Make is LA Knight. I'm gonna say that now. But but Melo would be a great pick. I feel like he's like your
Mhm.
quintessential Money in the Bank winner. Like he's like your like
Mhm.
he gives that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he'll cook in that role. And I guess we'll see as we go on. Now SmackDown ended. Well, no, well, you had the Miz TV segment with Cody. Um,
Yeah.
ugh, he kind of pretty much rehashed everything he said on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Not really much to talk about there. Um,
Yeah.
shout out to the Miz, shout out to Cody. Now, I will say this. And oh gosh, and I'm glad this happened because I did not expect this shit to happen on television.
Mhm.
My glorious Street Profits. My glorious Street Profits are tag team champions for the first time in
They got gold.
in over 4 years.
4 long
I
years.
remember
4.
I remember watching them win the Raw Tag Team titles from Seth Rollins and Murphy. I remember watching that. That was right before COVID hit. And they were
Yeah.
champions for most of the year, actually. They were champions for most of the year. They were champions for over 200 days, I believe. They were
And then the Usos took it off them, right? Or was it the
they
Mysterios?
lost the titles to who did they lose the titles to? Because those were the SmackDown titles. It might have been Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, maybe. Actually, let me fact check myself. So I'm not starting to sit here and look crazy, like because the COVID era is such
Yeah.
a blur sometimes. And holy crap, hold on, give me a second. I'm getting there, getting there.
The Street Profits failed. So
Yep, it was
no.
Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, like I thought. Yep, yeah.
All right. But yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so and finally seeing them get their due after the injuries, after the weird booking of them. Thank God. And it's
They
like
were so awkwardly placed for the longest.
yes, and it's like even when they were feuding with the Usos, when the Usos were going on that crazy when they were going on,
Yeah.
they could have beat the Usos. They could have beat the Usos. That was shout out to Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. That's fine and dandy, but come on.
It didn't fit the
But
overall story.
man, I was so
That's what they'll tell you.
that's what they'll tell you. But it was such a great moment to watch. Like, and you see Tez hit that frog splash. You see him make that pin.
Bro.
You see him just put the
And
prayer
then
hands
when you
up,
see
say
the
thank
video
God.
of the two of them celebrating with the fans afterwards,
Yeah.
first off, I will say this again. Shout out to the Barcelona crowd, one of the best crowds we've seen all
We
year so
love
far.
international crowds, man.
Absolutely.
Love international crowds
Secondly,
so much.
when you
Like
see the two, first of all, they are so black. Montez, grill in, just jamming,
he said, they are so
jamming.
black.
I will, I will let you know this right now. I don't want them to split up the Street Profits, but if for some reason they decided to give Montez a singles run, I, I, ooh, me personally,
Yeah, I'm still on that
that
train.
push that man to the moon.
I'm very much still on that train. Like, I don't care. Like, if you ever wanted to make Tez a singles guy, please, by all means, I'm all for it. But let them get a good run.
Push that man to the moon.
Man, SmackDown had a great environment with the crowd and everything, and it's like and the shit's gonna be lit leading up to WrestleMania too with this tour going on, and I cannot wait to see it.
Absolutely.
Um,
Real quick before we move off of SmackDown, there's one last thing I want to talk about.
yeah.
Damian Priest versus Shinsuke. Only
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, bro, that was a blur
that
too.
was a filler match, but we do need to talk about the fact that Shinsuke and Drew seem like they have a working partnership now.
They're doing very weird shit with Shinsuke right now. Now, I just love seeing Shinsuke on screen. Period. I love like if he's on TV, I'm going to be happy.
Absolutely.
Honestly, it feels like Drew, Damian, and Shin are all in weird spots right now because
Absolutely.
they should all be in like major spots on the card right
Heavyweight
now.
pictures, yeah.
But of course, like that ship is shell because obviously you got Cody and John Cena, Gunther and Jey Uso. There's no room for them in the title picture right now. But
Yeah.
I just really hope it works out for for all three of them because I'm not really sure. Like Shinsuke became U.S. champion for no reason at all. Um, Drew probably should be world heavyweight champion right now. Um,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things now with Damian. He had his. It's funny because like even though he was world heavyweight champion for most of the year last year, or what felt like most of the year last year, like it feels like
His post Judgment Day.
he's just now
His
really getting like that serious. That makes sense. Like it seems like they're really trying to like.
yeah.
It's almost like they're trying to get him over again. You know,
Yeah.
which
Because they're trying to get him over again post Judgment Day.
they don't really need to. But I see why. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for. I love Damian Priest and what he does. I'm not mad at it at all.
Same.
And like I said, I just hope it works out for them. However, WrestleMania goes, whatever happens with the Shin, I hope everyone is because it's weird to see. I don't know, like why like Drew and Shinsuke working together on screen is like okay,
I just want to see them put some real motion behind these guys. That's really it.
yeah, just like give me something to believe in. Shit. Now,
Um,
what you gotta say, bro?
I was just gonna say, as we go ahead and talk about as we go ahead and finish out SmackDown real quick, you could tell that they were sacrificing a lot in order to get some of these storylines out the way and to really just kind of like push the overall. Because for a lot of times we thought that they were, especially with that tag team storyline, we thought that they were sacrificing a lot to try and keep DIY champions.
Because I'm like, if the Profits lose, then what else?
Yeah,
You know, because like,
but
because
luckily enough, it seems
here's
like
my
we got
thing.
the fulfilling storyline that we needed.
The tag team division on SmackDown is like extremely loaded. So, and with the
It
Street Profits
is
leading the charge, is going to be a beautiful thing to see as the year goes on. You got Pretty Deadly, so you got DIY, you got the Machine Guns, or even we don't know what's going to happen,
Los Garza.
and we don't know what's yeah, and we don't know what's going to happen in terms of the draft either. So, like, some crazy
Oh
shit can happen.
Lord,
Some crazy shit can happen in the coming weeks. So,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be so tense watching the draft, trying to figure out how the fuck they're gonna balance everything.
no, felt that because like it seems like almost every draft or shakeup, one brand just looks way weaker than the other in comparison.
Yeah,
Like that always
and
happens
especially
with
with the
every draft.
Netflix deal, the
Mm-hmm.
red brands are already kind of stacked right now.
Oh, they're going to stack Raw even more if they can. Trust me. Oh,
Oh, real quick, since we're speaking on brands, let's real quick touch on. Excuse me. So they set up Jade Cargill versus Liv Morgan for next week.
mm-hmm.
Um, Jade had her segment talking about coming back and the whole Naomi situation. And bro, I'm not gonna lie, Liv is 100% justified in why she's mad.
Oh, for sure, because they try to vilify her. She had like Liv had nothing to do with this, and they were blaming her. Naomi and Bianca were blaming her for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And
Hmm.
and I still think there's more to it than what we know, and that's going to come out soon. I think. I feel like there has to be more
Yeah.
to it. Now, if there's not more to it, and Naomi acted alone, like I said, cool, that's fine. But I just really look forward to how this unfolds, and I'm very intrigued by
And
it.
yeah, I'm excited for this match, even
And
though
James might be back in the ring. Thank God.
exactly all I needed. All I needed.
All I
And
needed.
so if Liv gotta be the sacrificial lamb for this to happen, hey,
Hey,
let's make some shake.
hey, what
But
it is.
speaking of sacrifices, let's talk about TNA. He's speechless right now, y'all.
Because
He
there's
don't even know what to say.
fucking Tessa Blanchard. Why was she the
Oh,
pro?
you want to start with that? All right.
No, because like, I just have to point this because I want to get that out the way before we even do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's go ahead.
She was in this promo. She has these braids. She's wearing this bandana. She has a bad tan, and
Mind you, they're doing this in El Paso.
she's speaking Spanish. I just like first of all, why would you bring her back? Second of all, what are we what
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I just Are you trying to make niggas hate her even more?
No, for real.
Like we already
You
don't
have to,
we already don't want to see this bitch. Like we saw
you
that with
have people in the
hell.
stands screaming, "You're a racist."
Cora Jade had the team with her and was looking at this bitch like, ew, like
Yo, the
it's just
Marshawn Lynch meme on Twitter was
I'm just here so
hilarious.
I don't get fined. Like it just yo, I just I believe continue because I can't even oh God, I just
All right, like there's a lot of I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple of moments throughout Sacrifice that had me
I'll
like
let you
that
lead
for different
because
reasons.
I'll let you lead because this oh God.
So let's talk about the first match that actually interested me. I'm not sure if y'all can see right now, but I got my Wesley gear on. You
Period.
know, yeah, got my little Wesley gear on.
It was the
So,
Rascals and Ace Austin versus Wesley, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe. Um,
bro, first off, the fact that let's talk about Ace Austin.
love Ace
The
Austin.
way how he's been working since obviously he no longer has Chris Bay to lean on for this little singles run. So, having him be the leader of this little faction of him and the Rascals, I like, and you can very obviously tell that his favorite X-Men was Gambit
Gambit.
growing up.
See. I love Ace Austin. Like when he was doing his initial X Division run and everything,
Mhm.
like before he became a tag team guy with Chris Bay. Um, huge fan of Ace Austin. Love him. Love the Rascals. Obviously, still love Wesley, even though he's kind of a dick. Um, hey, it is what it is.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie, I had to
Like, hey,
support. Uh,
best North American champion ever. I'll give him credit for that. He got it. It is what
yeah,
it is. Um, that was a
which
good
is
match.
why
That was
watching this match was a little saddening.
that was a fun match. That was a fun match.
It
Now,
was.
see, honestly, you know what's weird for me right now? Like still seeing guys like Frankie Kazarian still wrestle. Because like,
Mhm.
I remember watching TNA. Like I started watching TNA in like 2009, and like see, seeing Kazarian, AJ Styles, and those guys are in like the you got Beer Money. Like seeing guys like just seeing those guys now
Yeah.
is like, wow. Because one, like Bobby Roode don't wrestle no more. I haven't seen James Storm in God knows how long. But AJ and Christopher Daniels just retired basically. And
Yes.
you still got AJ and Kazarian still pretty much going full time at this point, which is crazy as hell to me. Um, but
It's a testament to longevity.
it really is, and the fact that they're still going strong is great to see. Frankie had a match with Steve Macklin that was pretty decent. Um, I think it was like a little 10-minute affair, but by standard singles match, and then you move on to
Can
the.
we talk about the Mustafa Ali Mike Santana match?
I was getting to that. I was going to do the knockout tag team title first because that was after that. You had
Oh yeah,
Ash
yeah,
Ash by excellence and Heather by excellence defeated Spitfire, Dan Luna, and Judy Threat for the knockout tag team titles. Now, not gonna lie, I'm a fan of seeing Dana Brooke win the championship. I'm not mad at this at all. I'm not
I'm
mad at
not
this at
mad at
all.
it at all. But you know what? I'm even more of a fan of
What's up?
the meta girls crossing the line.
Oh my gosh, I'm seeing them seeing them get prime spots, like seeing them get like be in major spots is great. Like I cannot like I want them to be tag team champions very soon, at the minimum.
Absolutely.
Like
I
they would make fantastic tag team champions. Like whether it
if
be the knockouts
even if they want to give them the Knockouts Tag Team Champions for literally 2 weeks before they get called up because they need to at this point,
at some
do
point.
it.
Yeah,
Do it. Like I feel like those are the
they have it,
perfect
bro. They
two.
have it.
Yeah, but those are the perfect two to like take the belts off of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I can't wait to see that. And Mustafa Ali versus Mike Santana in that singles match. Love Mustafa Ali. Love that man. Love him
He is
so
a
much.
dangerous heel. He
Bro,
is a dangerous
and
heel.
he's so fucking good. He's
How
so
do you whoop
good.
this man's ass and then a leave a cup of beer in the middle of the ring? That is
Bro,
deadly.
like, and it's like he has such like this smug, like it's almost like what he does isn't wrong. He just walks around with a smile, you know what I'm saying, with his entourage and shit. Just love,
Yeah.
but I love it though. I fucking love it though.
Oh my God. Bro, there were about 3 moments throughout that match where I was like, because mind you, Mike came out in the Eddie Guerrero homage with
Yep.
the lowrider. Oh
Yep.
my, the I'm Your Poppy t-shirt. It was such a dope homage,
Beautiful,
especially for the
bro.
scene
Beautiful
that they were
touches.
in. Yeah. And bro, he hit literally every single move that Eddie used to do. And so watching him do this, you get behind Mike and then only for Mustafa to steal the win. There were about 3 good spots throughout that match where I was like, oh, if I'm Mike, I'm shooting you. There's no
Actually,
graphs.
actually, I gotta murk you. Actually,
Yeah, like there's no graphs. I'm just shooting you.
man,
Oh man, that was a really fun match. It was really dope. I think
great stuff.
of it was an impressive display of character work and again, just for where they're at, the way how they were able to get the crowd behind Mike,
Mm-hmm.
even though he lost. I'm excited to see the rematch on Thursday. That's
Oh,
how
for
you
sure.
have someone. That's how you set up a rematch. AEW take notes.
AEW take notes. One of my biggest disappointments of Sacrifice, Masha Slamovich versus Cora Jade for the Knockouts title.
Oh my fucking God. Because the way how the first thing I did after watching that match was I texted you and I said, Cora can't win for shit, can she?
Like, bro, like, what are we doing with Cora Jade? Anywhere. What are we doing with Cora Jade? What are we doing? Like, she's she's very great with her character work, can go in the ring. Like, she should be somebody's champion somewhere.
This
Like,
little girl
goddamn.
she has been in this business since she was a preteen damn near. And oh my God, why?
Like, well, because my thing with this partnership, I don't know if NXT stars are going to win TNA titles or if TNA stars are going to win NXT titles or however it's going to go. Like, but if you're going to do a partnership, do the fucking partnership. Let there be some
Yeah,
championship. Let there be some championship crossover here. Because I remember like when TNA
yeah.
was doing the partnership with New Japan, and you had New Japan you had New Japan titles being featured on TV every single week. I mean,
Or even shit. We just had when Shinsuke was US champion, he went over to Noah and
mhm.
was fucking defending the belt over there. What the
Yeah.
fuck is we doing?
Like they don't want us to have fun things. They don't want to do fun things. These niggas are boring. Speaking of boring,
Ugh.
speaking of boring, Moose, you fuck. It was Moose versus my goat Jeff Hardy in a ladder match for the TNA X Division Championship. Jeff Hardy is still fucking doing it at how old is he?
47.
40.
I know. I know. I know.
My goat is
But
47. He's doing
the
swanton
fact
bombs through tables, jumping off his shit like it's fucking 2001.
still taking bumps off the apron. Oh my God.
Why is Moose X Division champion? What is the end game here?
No, 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 no. Not even that. Not even that. That's look,
No,
Moose
but
is
like
one of their
overall,
biggest
like
stars.
why
I
is
can
he
understand.
why is he X Division champion in the first fucking place?
Very understandable question. But if we already hear, cool, whatever. How do you justify him beating Jeff Hardy, the architect of the ladder match, in a ladder match in Moose's first ever ladder match? Where's the logic?
Like
Where's the logic?
if you're going like here's my thing. Jeff Hardy mm, he deserved the X Division championship, man. Like
He
damn,
does.
give him that TNA Triple Crown. Shit, he deserves that. God damn.
Yeah,
And I would love to
because there
see
aren't that many.
and I would love to see two belts Jeff in 2025. I would love to see that shit.
Two
Damn.
belt Jeff will go crazy.
That shit would look great. That shit would look awesome. And he would be a fantastic X Division champion. Fantastic.
Mhm.
Now, speaking of Jeff, his brother Matt, Joe Hendry, Elijah, Leon Slater, and Nick Nemeth defeated the system. It was Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, JDC, and the Colognes actually. Um, Eddie and Orlando, Carlitos people in a
First
10
steel cage match
in
in TNA in 6 years.
a 10 really? The
Yeah,
first in 6 years you said?
6 years.
Really?
Really?
Bro, I remember, bro. Wow. I really must not have been tuned in 6 years. Anyways, another fun affair where Matt Hardy's team came out on top. Another very very fun affair. You know what I'm saying? And at
Yes,
the
the
end,
team came out on top. Matt Hardy,
and
you
at the
know,
end, and at the end, and at the end, Nick Nemeth turned on him. You fuck.
I'm not gonna lie, I was screaming "fuck Nick Nemeth" for a cool like 10 minutes.
That was just
Because,
gross.
and the thing is that like, so it's very obvious like him and his brother are now gonna just try and run, and now just gonna try and feud against the Hardys for the tag belts or something. Or maybe this is leading up for Nick to try and get his belt back from Joe. But the thing is that if they want to try and do this as Nick is going to try and get his belt back from Joe, why did Matt have to be the one to be the unfortunate victim?
Why are you so mad? Like you're so mad. Like you're like Joe. Like Matt is not your enemy. You want Joe. That's who you want. Go get Joe.
Yeah,
Like damn. You like he's like damn. I want to be a champion, so let me just attack any random champion that I see. You fucker.
probably. And so one thing is like, I'm very curious to see how this plays out because it's like, Nick, what are we doing? Like, I think Nick and Ryan could be a deadly tag team. I think they have the potential to. I just can't get behind them as heels.
I can't get behind Ryan. Like I can get behind Dolph as a champion. I'm calling him Dolph. Don't care. I can get behind him as a champion at any time. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's incredibly talented.
His brother is so like you
Oh.
exist.
If you cannot, I wish I implore all of you to watch on YouTube so that way you can see Rick's faces as we mentioned Ryan Nemeth because it's hilarious.
Like who are you besides being Dolph Ziggler's brother? Who are you?
I don't know, man. Like I'm just
Bro referred to himself as a wrestling star
yeah,
in that
nah,
little.
that's
I think in that little lawsuit involving CM Punk. I think
uh-huh.
brother.
A star,
You might wrestle.
but you're not a star.
You are nobody's star. I'm sorry. I hate to break. I hate to be that guy. Hate to break it to you, my boy, but you're not that guy. Promise you, you're not.
You remember that you remember when Roman Reigns and Jey Uso were going up against each other, and Roman Reigns was saying, "Your family eats off of this championship. My family eats off of this championship." That's Ryan and Nick.
No, like legitimately, like if not for Dolph, brother, you wouldn't even be in the ring right now. Probably like you wouldn't even be on television.
All right,
Realistically,
let's let's give our final thoughts about Sacrifice, and then we
uh,
can wrap this up real quick.
too much Blanchard, too much Moose. Hated it. Everything else is good besides that.
Yeah, overall solid pay-per-view. Wish that Jeff had gotten the X Division champion.
Yeah,
Get the racist off my TV. Get the
I
woman
wish
beater
Cora
off my
Jade had I
TV.
wish Cora Jade had won too, but hey, can't have what we want.
Yeah. I I will say this definitely has me invested in the next however long in the next couple months of TNA.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Like TNA has definitely restored the feeling a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're really back in the limelight again after struggling for so many years. The fact that they're not dead is just a sentiment to their resilience as a company, I guess, which is crazy to see. Because like,
It's just fun matches.
yeah,
That's
like
literally it.
they're doing fun stuff and they're doing really, really fun stuff. And like the partnership with WWE is going to make it even better, I think. Once
And
you have
now if they can just get a deal with someone other than Triller, it would be great.
that would be fantastic, actually. Like, come back to Spike TV. Is it still
Yeah, come
is Spike TV even still a thing?
it might have been absorbed by AMC.
Yeah, I feel like it might have been rebranded or something because like I haven't seen Spike TV in a while. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. Oh yeah, it's the Paramount
Oh,
Network
it's
now.
Paramount.
So
Hey,
uh
Paramount, go ahead, come pick them up. Come pick them up.
hell, Sci-Fi could pick them up for all I fucking care. I don't know. I remember when Sci-Fi had SmackDown for that a little bit. That was a
Oh
weird
yeah,
time.
I remember that. I remember that from when I was a kid. Yeah.
I remember they had ECW for that for a couple of years. Like, hey, but
All
yeah,
right.
another very eventful week of wrestling, and this week, well, tomorrow is going to be fucking fantastic. I hope. Just, just saying what John Cena has to say for himself. If anything, like that's what I'm most excited for. Give John Cena and Cody Rhodes 30 minutes. I don't care. They can
Oh
talk.
yeah.
They
No,
can
I
yap for
don't care how long they give them.
just
Please.
let them cook.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh my God. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Of course, it's episode 2, not the 1, but the 2 of Top Rope Boys podcast.
We're
It's your
number
boy.
2. Man,
It's your,
yeah. I can't be like honestly like just looking back like we're actually like the fact that we've started this show and we've maintained the schedule 2 weeks in a row. Happy for us. But you know what I'm saying? Like this is going to get better as we get more people
absolutely.
on and as more things happen, as we learn to implement more wrestling into our talks and everything. You know what I'm saying? And once we start to do more content and all that, it's going to be a fun time and I can't wait to continue.
Absolutely. We appreciate every listener, every follow, every share. Please do all of that. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all the whole jazz.
Please, it would help us immensely. We appreciate it. So, thank you for all the support and all the support to come. You know,
It's the Rated S Superstar. Peace.
it's the real world champion, Reek the Freak, and we out. Peace.